Thanks for tuning in to Season 2 of the Holla Points Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And what do we do, Coach?
We accept the challenge of providing dangerous, thought provoking, and sometimes controversial insights into life's most common topics.
Get your mind right, yeah, yeah. Get your mind right, yeah, yeah. Get your mind right.
I feel sorrier for the white people because ugly people. Let me explain. Ugly people have the ability scientifically to genetically have their children's children get out of that ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, two ugly people can have a pretty baby. There's a chance two black people can't have a white baby, right? That's not how that works.
Why are you trying to preserve? You sound like Peter.
I
Why are
am,
you
and
trying to
that's what
preserve the white race?
that's where my anxiety is. Is that do you know the stress that has to be on a sub race of people or a race of people or a subset of humanity where they realize we are on a borrowed time, we are going to no longer exist as we currently are structured in about 150, 200 years.
They won't be here.
Well, they gonna
Why?
leave
Why should they worry? The actual people who you talking about. Why should they think about that now? Why are they
because
worried?
we started in the beginning of the conversation with the fact that we're the only animals that don't think about the proliferation of our DNA. We don't think about now. Keep in mind the basic human DNA is being passed on, but the designation as far as this type, we create subspecies of animals, but a dog will sleep with any dog, right? Hey, don't let that Dalmatian mix with that pit bull. They don't care. They just trying to get these off, right? We care about those classifications as human beings more than any other species. And unfortunately, these classifications are going to diminish over time because now you got to pick your poison.
Why are
When
you
you,
fighting to keep them?
I just feel it's not that I'm fighting. I'm not doing it. Look, it's one of those situations like I talk about all the time. I care. I don't care enough to do anything about it. I'm not going to any rallies white power. I'm not going to white power rallies or nothing like that, feeling bad for them. But I can understand as a from a psychological perspective, the pressure that it has to be that everything that you've known for the last 300, 400 years is in jeopardy in half that time. Like I said, 2050, the studies are showing the majority of the world to be brown. I mean, within 150 years after that, you got like 20% of the people are really white. And then, I mean, it's only going to go more and more. 1,000 years from now, there are no white people, none, unless you're doing it on purpose. unless you, but now it's like a zoo experiment. It's just a bad situation.
We'll still
So
have
so beauty.
albinos. We'll be okay with that.
So the standard of beauty starts to evolve and change. Remember when we was younger, white women with ass was not the answer. But then they had to adopt ass because the mixing started to occur. You know what I'm saying? The Puerto Ricans start having ass and all this other stuff. But then it became okay. Then the full lips, like they are doing small things to assimilate into what beauty is because you getting less and less blonde haired, blue eyes, big breast, small waist, little assed women. Like that, they are a dying breed. Even these anorexic bras that model the internet. I think Giselle is a very unattractive woman, but she made money off of people believing and being programmed that she was attractive because she was tall and thin. Like tall and thin to me is not attractive because you're not going to survive a hard winter. You know what I'm saying? I'm still on that primal. Can she you know what I'm saying? Can she catch something and cough it off? I don't want a woman that
You
I
really
want a
off
stand and
confidence.
fight built woman. I don't want a run and tell built woman. I'm Midwest. You know what I'm saying? so, so
So it's
those
what
are
you think is attractive. So if should your attractiveness mature, you what you thought was attractive in high school is different in college and is different as an adult, right or wrong?
it should be, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. And how I even was thinking about this, I'm looking at TV. And TV programs you well, right? They do a great job of it. They spend a lot of money on the science. I'm looking at TV, and these young chicks came on with some bikinis, and they was curvy, and I was like, man, That's what's up. That's what it's about. Now, I'm way past that. There's nothing I could do with a young tenderoni that's curvy. That don't even make sense. And I definitely think it would be weird to have an old tenderoni that's curvy. Can you can you imagine? Can you it would be so inappropriate to go on a cruise and there's a whole bunch of 40-year-old broads in two piece bikinis. I don't want to see that at all. But that's
Why
that's how
not?
age
Why
works.
don't you want
Right,
to see it?
exactly. Because I've been programmed that beauty is a static. This is why old motherfuckers
Beauty
is
is a
with these
young
young
chick
broads.
thing.
Beauty should be suspended in time. You know what I'm saying?
So
I
as we
have I
get
have
older, we should find the usher board ladies attractive.
we should we should our level of what we deem to be attractive or what's important from an attractive perspective should evolve, but it doesn't. As men, it
So
never evolves.
it
I
has
don't
to. It has to,
it
or we'll
should.
be in
It should,
trouble.
but it
Do
doesn't.
you not
It
understand what
doesn't.
happened to R. Kelly? It didn't
Ye-
evolve.
It didn't. But what happens is we start settling for these old bras. we just start, we
Wait.
just
We settling now? No,
yes,
we
we
just
start settling.
evolved. If we still find what we found attractive in junior high, we R. Kelly.
I
We have
understand
to
what you're
evolve.
saying. We try to get the older version of her. Everything. Here's the sweet spot for women's attractiveness. The sweet spot is 19 to about 28. Like if you women listening to this, 19 to 28, this is your prime. Whatever you gonna do it now because everything is depreciating after that fact. Everything. It's harder to have children. I don't know what the age is for a geriatric pregnancy, right? But I think it's like 30. Like, like yo, 19 to 28, you got a 9-year window. It ain't even 10. It ain't even a solid 10 years. You get a lot of women that try to program you to say 30 is the new 20 and 40 is the new 30 and 70 is the new fucking 50. That shit is wrong. That's bad math. It's an absolute
You
lie.
can't recount, right?
It's bad. And then you get some women that try to age defy with the gym and with the surgeries and with the BBLs and all this other stuff.
Right.
But the fact is, dudes can sense that. And dudes is not taking a substitute if they can get the real article. Men are only as faithful as they options. And when you start having options to get with a 28-year-old that everything is the way you feel like you earn that. You now I done got enough money. I'm 45. I got enough money. I done been through all the bullshit. This young chick is looking for stability because women find stability. Think about what I was saying about just the psychology of the species. Women want protection, stability, because that's going to ensure the proliferation of her egg. Men want that physical strength, that physical health, because that's going to ensure the proliferation of his sperm. So women translate that security from a physical perspective nowadays to a financial perspective from a security. There's nothing more attractive than a man that can make sure that you and your kids have the best medicine, the safest homes, the best education, because that's going to get you further along in this species than just tough dudes, right? Just tough. Now women want it all, so they want a motherfuckers that's tough and went to Cornell, right? They
Right.
want
You
all
gotta know
of that.
all styles of karate.
Exactly, exactly, and accounting principles. You know what I'm saying? They want
And
all of that.
the gun license. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you can put in a subfloor on the rental home by
Ain't
yourself.
that some shit? You gotta know karate and have your gun license.
Yeah,
Karate
yeah.
means empty hand, but you gotta have your hands.
Right. That's right.
You gotta have
That's the
something in your
literal
hands too.
translation, right? That's the literal translation. But
So
but but I think that women don't really. If women think about it, what do you really need a dude for? Based on how the women used to need dudes because they couldn't own property. Women used to need dudes because they couldn't move around on their own or whatever the case may be. But now,
some of
if
that
you got a
hasn't
gun,
changed.
go ahead.
No, some of that hasn't changed. They still need a dude because they can't own property. it's, it's some women who can't get nothing in their name because they tricked
But
off.
that's not for legal reasons. That's for lazy reasons. That's for lazy reasons. When your whole game plan depends on somebody else doing something, it's a bad game plan.
I
When your
agree.
whole game plan is depending on a depreciating asset, it's a bad game plan. You basing your life or your success in life off of hoping that you have a kid with this dude. Because think about it like this. You're not bringing shit to the table. You barely graduated high school, but you was cute. You got what to do. Let's just really think about it. You barely graduated high school, but you was cute. You got with somebody that had a little money because you felt like he should invest in your cuteness. But for whatever reason, you couldn't have a kid because the kid secures the child support and then you emotionally tied to this dude and all that kind of stuff. But you can't have a kid. At about 23, 24, you start getting nervous to the motherfucker because the cuteness is depreciating. You're not bringing a kid to the situation. So now you realizing, wait a second, he's still climbing economically because whatever reason, he had money when y'all got there, or he was athletic, or whatever the case may be. The money for him is getting longer as he gets older. But you haven't done anything to invest in yourself except for the cute. And you know, like I know, the cute is constantly depreciating year over year. So it's harder and harder, just like with an athlete, it's harder to recover. You used to drink all night, get up and play that game or whatever. But as you get older, you got to get into the chamber. You got to get massages. You got to put more effort into maintaining your body because that's your commodity. If cute is your commodity, you're running out of time at about 25 because you didn't do anything else to develop anything that could help you take care of yourself. That's got to be just like white folks. I feel sorry for them bras.
Hey, as
You're an
I've
endangered
gotten older,
species.
though, I have become more sapiosexual. I have
Okay.
become more attracted to intellect as I've gotten older.
The, the reason why I gotta
Go ahead.
the reason why I gotta applaud you and feel sorry for you
Okay.
is because the fucking time that it takes to discern what she's saying is real or did she Wikipedia some shit just to make it through this first conversation. See, the thing about attractive is it's instantaneous. You know,
Right.
you
Right.
see it, you know it. The thing about height, if I don't like short women, it's like a job requirement, right? So you have a resume for this job. There are prerequisites. You got to have this type of degree, this type of experience, whatever. Same thing with the job of your heart, the job of your love. You got certain things great example. Some people don't fool with white women. That's black. Some people don't fool with Indians, don't fool with nobody else but Indians. It's hard to find an
It's
Indian
hard.
woman that was born and raised in India. You see her with a black dude. That's man, do you know how crazy that is? That's like a Chinese girl with green eyes.
It's
You know what
communicated.
I'm
Right. Yeah.
saying? Exactly. So the reality of it is you kind of know what's in your lane and you stay to what your skill set applies for. Every now and then people apply for jobs and they know they're not qualified and they end up getting them. And either the job proves that they aren't qualified or they get in and train themselves up. You get a lot of these women that get with dudes, and the opposite of that happens. They don't train themselves up to keep the situation or to keep their role or to enhance their role to get promoted to a greater role. They get the job and be like, whew, got a job. I can retire. Like you said, I'm married now. I can retire. I can stop doing all of this stuff because I got him.
Same
I
for
got
me,
him
bro.
hooked.
Yeah.
So in the idea of taking the time to be attracted to intellect is so much harder than swiping left and swiping right. Right? I mean, this is real.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
real
To
talk. You
learn.
swiping left, swiping right.
Yeah.
I
To
see it.
learn
I like
somebody ain't shit. You gonna have to lose about $400.
it. That's correct.
That's
And
just
so
that's on average. Sometimes you lose more because you got to pay child
right,
support if you go the
right,
long route. But on
right.
average, to learn somebody ain't shit, you gonna have to go on at least 3 dates just to learn that they ain't shit as a man.
I agree. But here's the situation. How'd you even get to the point where you were willing to see if they were intellectually established or not? It had to be a law of attraction.
Yeah, yeah. It had to be the physical first.
And so that's why that physical does matter, even at an advanced age or an advanced stage. You gotta dust your fucking self off and at least make me look your way. Now that I've looked your way, other things have to kick in. Women men tend to grade women more comfortably than women grade men. Meaning, Men have a certain level of beauty that they feel like they deserve. Different men feel like it's different levels. If I feel like I need sevens and eights and nines and tens, it's based off whatever I feel like put me in that situation. Women tend to go feast or famine. They either need a fucking nine or they good with a three. There is no middle ground with women because they're not. I mean, you see some of the baddest chicks. It's rare that it's rare in my life. I can honestly tell you. I'll tell you two attractive people to me. And I'm just being when I say attractive, I mean attractive from a symmetrical study show, that type of thing, not from a pause type situation. Russell Wilson and Sierra are both attractive people. They have good bone structure, they have good hair quality, those type of things. They're both talented in their own way. They are attractive people. Grant Hill and Tamia are two attractive people. They're both, tall enough, they have good bone structure. Like all these things are attractive, right? But if you get past that, it's not very many couples that both of them motherfuckers is classically attractive.
What about Beyonce? Never mind. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
if you could explain to me though, we talking about all this physical attraction.
Right.
Why in the hell did Ray Charles need to fill these risks? Like what he's supposed to take whatever, right?
He knew something. Some people are feet people, some people are hips people, some people are breast man. You got you got certain things that attracts you. You know what I mean? I remember it was a chick when I was young, man, and she used to like me. She used to fancy your boy, and she had funny color eyes. They might have been hazel or so they wasn't normal, just brown eyes like normal people, right? And I thought that shit was spooky. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. This is before color contacts and all that shit. I did not like that, man. It was weird. It, it
Never
was
seen it
it
before.
was
I
it was
don't know.
creepy. It was creepy. And but some people are attracted to those type of exotic looks. You know what I'm saying? They attracted certain moles on your face. They found that to be attractive at one point in time.
Some
It
people call it
changes
beauty
over
marks.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changes over time. But I mean, if you go back a long time ago, people that was thicker was more attractive because it showed that they had the ability to eat. Everybody wasn't eating good. So all the kings and all that was
Yeah,
always
yeah.
chubby.
It was a sign of wealth. Right, yeah.
It was a sign of wealth. Exactly. So that type of stuff fluctuates. But some of this classic, what's attractive to you is something that's undeniable. I'll speak for me because I don't want to put words, on anybody else. I've seen women and thought, oh my goodness, she makes me feel better about the day, about myself, about every. I've seen women with nice smiles and thought, oh my
Just the
gosh, that
smile?
is
Is it really the
just.
smile or is it the energy?
I think it's both. I think it's how she commands it.
Okay.
I think it's how she commands it because there's also I've heard this in my youth. I used to hear he would be cute if he didn't know it.
What the hell? It'd be cute if he was ignorant. All right.
If he didn't know he was cute, and it could be about me, it could be about somebody else. The point is, I heard it. But if you didn't know you was so cute, you would be cuter. What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense from a physical optic perspective, from a visual perspective. Me being ignorant to how cute I am shouldn't make me cuter visually. That's dumb. That's
But
just
it would
dumb.
be cute. How would you know that you're cute to them? I grew up not knowing what the hell I was because I had two extremes. There were girls saying I was cute as hell and girls saying I was ugly. Nobody said I was just all right. So I didn't know what the hell I was. But
I think.
let me
I,
tell you about
I-
my cousin real quick.
Go ahead, give it to me.
She said, and I don't want to tell you who the cousin is because I
Okay.
don't want Essence mad at me. So
Okay.
she
Okay.
said,
Understood.
I was about to hook her up one time.
Uh,
She didn't care how he looked. She said, as long as he is tall. How do you explain that shit?
once again, I
Because that
think
blew
that
my
that's
mind.
it's a carryover of the biological proliferation, and I think that taller. If you were tall, look, think about a long time ago. If you were taller, if you were most athletic, more muscular, you could hunt better. If I tell my daughter, my oldest daughter, if I was born 250, 300 years ago, I would have died because I have poor eyesight. I need glasses. I need corrective lenses. So I wouldn't have been able to hunt or nothing. Like, I'm not gonna say 300, but a long time ago. I wouldn't have
Right.
made it. I would have got voted off the island because they would have to leave my ass behind. I don't care how tall and strong I am, but I can't see. I can't see. I'm killing the wrong things. So all of it is a matter of timing. But some of those things that we inherit naturally tend to kind of linger with us, and some things you kind of hold on to. Smarter people. It's not the strongest survive. It's the most adaptive survive. So the smartest people are the ones whose genes have translated longer throughout history than the stronger people. That's just come on, that's just regular science. But I think with women, they like what they like either because their daddy had it, or they would have liked for their daddy to have had it, or some type of endearing figure in their life held this quality. I don't like freckles. Great example. I don't like women with freckles because my mom had freckles, and I always thought it was weird. You don't have a black person with freckles. Um,
But you had
it's,
it in
it's
your
just
house. You wasn't used to it.
but I knew by going outside, I knew by having a mirror, this is different than other people. And I'm not ever big on, uh, a- some people run towards different. Some people love different. They love to separate themselves and have that type of isolation. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to blend in. I
No,
just want to be under the radar and
hand
just be
hand
cool.
hand in the air. I'm raising it.
Right, right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I run towards different. While
Yeah, I
all of
know
y'all was
this.
liking this light skin,
I
long
know
hair,
this.
I was
Know
I
this.
was all on the dark chicks. The darker the better. If you
Man,
got some melanin
Patra.
in
You
your
you was big on Patra.
yes, you got melanin in your gums. Yes, I like it. I like it.
Hey, but once again, I think it is also a reflection of the what you're trying to establish for yourself. It's like your marker. It's like, okay, look, I'm not gonna be like everybody else. I'm gonna go the path less traveled. Some people love big chicks. Some people love big chicks. And that was never and I don't like one thing I do have a disdain for. I'm not really big on mixed chicks at all. Never would have married or had kids with. It's just too confusing. It's a lot of confusion that go with mixed chicks. Just for so many reasons. We're not even gonna get into that on this pod. But another thing is, I don't like women built like 13-year-old boys. I don't. There is nothing to me that's attractive about a woman that's under 5'6", that's under 100 pounds or hovering at about 100 pounds. If I have to look twice to see if you a young boy with a wig on, we just not gonna make it. Once again, once again,
Well, then you wouldn't be
once
attracted. I hope.
once again. It's just
Especially with the
and
Halle Berry haircut. Like,
exactly. It's something about it, and it's not a homophobia.
and
It's just
no
not
offense at all to Jada. So Will, don't slap us. We just talking.
exactly. Oh yeah, there's nothing that is there's nothing that's once again it's cute. Remember, we had this conversation, and this was off recording. We had a conversation, and it might have been a week ago, and we talked about how when you're young, when you're of a certain age, any woman that's short is cute because she gives off a childlike vibe, an innocence about herself. So if she's 5 foot, 5'1", 5'3", and she's got some curves on her because now she's of age, that's cute. But then it starts to get creepy to me. She- if she's not thick at all and she's just little, and people have to double take whether you're because I'm a taller dude. So if they got to look twice to see if I'm with an adult, with my arm around an adult,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable for me. That's not cute to me. And I think that women tend to say that women want it all. Let's go ahead and establish that and reestablish that. I'm going to say it as many times as you hear anything we record. Women want it all.
Both
Like you said,
and
they
all
want to
and
do it from
yes.
Compton that went to Harvard.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They want it all. But the fact is, women more often than not want a guy for the long term that can provide that level of stability. And that doesn't always mean this is how what's my man named Tyrone? What was Tyrone last name? Hill? for the Sixers with the knot on his head?
Man, what was his name? We
It was
just go with
Tyrone
him for
something.
now. Yeah. I forgot
Yeah,
his last
but
name.
but the point is, LeBron's not a handsome man classically. It's a lot of dudes that's got money that would trade
Wait, wasn't his
they
name
guy.
Eric? Wasn't it Eric?
Eric, it was Eric. Yeah, Eric.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Eric Williams,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Tyrone was an ugly dude too in the league. Like it's
Yeah, I remember him. He was ugly too,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
had
yeah,
enough.
Corbett. Well, no, not Tyrone Corbett, but anyway, it's a lot of ugly dudes that had broads. Like they had the chicks that I thought from a physical perspective I would have liked to have had, right? And some women believe that because of where they compare themselves to other women, they should have these guys who have the ability to take them on trips and this and that. The currency that women have as it relates to love is different than the currency that men have as it relates to love. Women think that trips and gifts and patience and all this shit is a currency. They feel like you idolizing them and supporting them and encouraging them and tricking off money on them is a currency that they should have because of because of what they inherited from their mom and them or what they built in Brazil, right? They're trading that in as a commodity. And I think that's trash because dudes don't have my mom and dad was cute. Look at Rick Fox. Rick Fox had nice hair. Rick Fox was tall. Rick Fox was athletic and had money. And
Pretty
Rick
Ricky,
Fox got
what they
Vanessa
call him?
Williams. Huh? Was that? Yeah, Pretty Ricky, what they call him. Yeah. So, and he ended up with Vanessa Williams. And that shit didn't even work. So what is we doing?
Vanessa.
Who's Rick Fox's soulmate?
But Vanessa is on the Halle Berry type of.
She is.
So she
But
could have
Vanessa,
been crazy too.
But think about it. But I also have a prejudice against artists because I think all artists are crazy. Vanessa was Miss USA. She had albums. She was an actress. She was beautiful, had a banging body. She was great. She was wonderful. But the thing about it is everybody thought it would have been great because she was cute and he was cute. Just like when Halle Berry married David Justice. He was athletic. He was tall. He was strong. He had money. There's no reason this shouldn't work. But then you get a motherfucker like Jermaine Dupri with Janet Jackson, and you're like, how? Why? Why would she do this? Why is she with Jurassic Dwarf? You know, that doesn't make sense.
It makes sense when her album is flopping and she wants a good producer. It makes perfect sense.
But the heart won't what the heart won't, right? And so that's where
right, a platinum album.
Yeah. Right. So it's just crazy because the more money you have, the more options you have, and it puts you into these circles where you have the opportunity to meet a different type of chick. This is why these celebrity dudes recycle these hoes. Like it be the same chick, and now she with this dude, and now she with that dude, and now and it's like, why? Do you know how many women it is out there? And you have the ability to travel and go to these places to meet these women. Why do you keep recycling? And then their excuse is, well, she knows how to move in these circles. You can train abroad. You could train a chick on fries at Arby's to move in certain circles. You got to just give it some time. Invest. I just don't want a chick that another dudes plural have run through because she's already broke down in these type of environments. No, that's trash to me.
Broke down
That's
or broken
trash.
in?
Here's the situation. If I'm not with my chick and I get with another chick, I don't need for you to describe her as somebody else's old girl. When Emmitt Smith got with Martin's old wife, see how that works? See what I just said? You think that was a perfectly fine statement. It wasn't for me because Emmitt Smith deserved to have his own wife. You know what I'm saying? He didn't need to have Martin's old wife. That's like him having Martin's old car.
So
why?
You just talking
he can
about
get a new car,
though, right?
Say it again.
You're just talking about celebrities because we all got somebody's old something, right?
We do, but this is the thing. The knowledge of how she moved, where she was, why it didn't work. When I get a new chick, you have the ability, you my boy. I meet this woman, her name is Deborah, making up some shit. Her name is Deborah. Whatever I tell you about Deborah, is what you know about Deborah. That's what you trust about Deborah. That's what you like about Deborah.
Mm-hmm.
If I get with Deborah and I'm telling you about Deborah, just like reading a book, you create a picture in your mind. And then when you see the movie, you're like, I didn't think she was that tall. I didn't think she was white. I didn't think she had red hair. Like you create images. That's what makes books beautiful, right? People don't read no more, but that's what made books beautiful. But I get with Deborah and I'm telling you all this stuff about Deborah. And you, because you care about me, you falling in love with Deborah too. Man, Deborah made this, man, Deborah make a cobbler and it's so, and I don't even really like cobbler like that. And you like, man, you just happy because your boy happy and everything is good. And then you meet Deborah and she used to be your your crackhead cousin girl. 50. Now Deborah has grown, Deborah has changed.
Oh, that's
But that
Dee
stain
Dee.
of,
Right.
huh? Yeah. Deborah was the town bicycle. Y'all from a small town, and Deborah was the town bicycle. Everybody had a ride. She done reformed and transformed herself into a better chick. But I can't. Steve Harvey wife, and I think her ex-husband was in jail. Listen, I'm not talking to no chick who ex-husband was in jail. She I know she didn't go to jail. And I know it's not her fault. But her choice in dudes leads me to believe she doesn't deserve somebody like me.
How come it wasn't her fault?
Whoa, time out. That's our time for the day, but stay tuned for the conclusion of this episode.
I get your mind right, yeah. I get your mind right, yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.